So an argument that Democrats and liberals use with me, progressives, but mostly liberals and Democrats use with me quite often when I say that, the KKK, it was started by Democrats, and Democrats were the party of Jim Crow, and they always say that at some point during this time the parties switched. The parties, you know, I guess after Jim Crow, the party switched, which is total bullshit. And I think if you follow what each party was saying at those times, it didn't really change very much. I guess Lyndon Baines Johnson and shit. But this, I'm not even trying to attack Democrats. I think that this is happening to a certain degree. The party switching. I think this is happening to a certain degree right now. And I think that you're losing Democrats. I think you're losing a lot by compromising freedom of speech and by not really caring about human rights other than who you can fuck. Like people that I work with that are Democrats that claim to be very just be good people and to care about minorities and care about the plight of people who are down on their luck. They are very quick to call the police on homeless people. It happened today, and I just don't appreciate someone telling me that I am somehow a bad person for not caring about people that are under privileged when you're calling the cops on a homeless person. I think that's a little bit hypocritical, if not extremely hypocritical. So yeah, I see a lot of hypocrisy going on right now. It used to be that liberals wanted freedom of speech for everyone because they understood that if you take away one man's freedom of speech, that can easily it applies to everyone. And your group is probably not too far down the line. But yeah, they wanted freedom of speech. They wanted they wanted a burden of proof when you were being convicted for a crime. They believed in a trial by jury, and now it's believe women no matter what. And this whole Kavanaugh case is just ridiculous. We need proof. I'm sorry, like I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, but you have to have proof, and I think that there should be proof, no matter what. I don't think that you should be able to just demonize someone and ruin someone's life without any type of burden of proof. So yeah, and I just think that if people took time to really think about what they were saying and how they live their lives, they might not be so quick to judge. If the world lasts long enough for my generation to someday be Supreme Court judges or presidents or whatever, we're going to be seriously fucked, guys, because we were a very, we lived very debaucherous lifestyles, and I'm not saying that I haven't, because I definitely have. I don't think that I've ever sexually assaulted anyone. I know I've been sexually assaulted by many people, but I'm not going to, try to ruin someone's life for grabbing my dick, because that's just silly. You know what I'm saying? I suppose if I were a woman, it would be different, because women are not as capable of defending themselves or whatever. I'm sure that'll piss some feminists off or whatever, but it's just the truth. It's biologically true. And it's just as someone that used to be a pretty die-hard liberal, I believed in the rights of minorities and human rights and just taking care of your fellow man, and I still believe in those things. It's hard for me to see people just being so vicious and just really not taking any consideration into what if Kavanaugh was your son? What if he was your um, best friend? You know, what would you think then? If you knew that some, and I'm not saying that Kavanaugh is innocent. I mean, he might have exposed himself to a girl when he's 17. He might have rolled around on a bed with a girl when he was 17. I would venture to say that if that's the worst a person can do, most of us are probably pretty bad off. But I'm not making excuses for exposing yourself or forcing someone to roll on a bed with you. Of course, those things are wrong. But I think it happens quite a bit, especially with 17-year-old kids. And, just the other day, one of my YouTube people, somebody that would watch my videos, I was talking with one of those guys, and he was talking about how he put his dick on a hot dog bun, you know what I'm saying, and showed it to some girl, and it was like it was an innocent thing. He didn't mean anything by it, I don't think. But if that girl had really freaked out, then it would have been a much bigger deal. And I think that people need to be much more cognizant of their actions in this day and time. And it's sad that they have to do that. But I also think that it might be somewhat progress. I think if things are dialed down a little bit, and if we can have more of a centralist, very evidence-based train of thought about these types of issues, we'll be a lot better off. But it's just really sickening. It's sickening to see people just get all upset and, to writhe in identity politics and just be so self-righteous and vitriolic. Anyways, feel free to like this or comment or whatever. But, especially comment on this if you are a Democrat, because I want to hear what you have to say, and I don't want to argue with you. If your intentions are to argue with me, please don't comment. Otherwise, leave me a comment, and have a great day.